À l'occasion de la sortie de Ridge Racer Unbounded, nous avons pu rencontrer Jonas Laxo, le producteur du jeu chez Bugbear.
Bugbear is an independent racing studio. We've been making action driving games for the past 12 years now, and with an action orientation. So we try to go for entertainment first instead of like the simulation market. We are 50 people strong, based in Helsinki, Finland, and doing just well in our very small corner of the world. After shipping our previous game and worked on some undisclosed projects since then, we were shopping for a new project, like a big game, something that we could do for the current home consoles and the PC. And we had a prototype which we managed to get to Namco Bandai, and they really liked it. And after meeting with us a couple of times, they then proposed that would we want to make this a Ridge Racer game. So that's where we started off from. When we learned that we would get to do a Ridge Racer if we chose to accept, of course, yeah, it was very exciting, of course. Like I remember screaming out in joy in the hotel room by myself, but at the same time it was very intimidating because we are quite aware of the franchise's 18-year-old history and legions of very hardcore fans. And we did know that this is going to be a very different game. Like we know Ridge Racer, we know what types of games we do. We knew that it was going to be a different kind of experience. Luckily for us, that's precisely what Namco wanted to do. They wanted to see what would be a Bugbear style Ridge Racer game, and they felt that there was something interesting there. So that's what we tried to deliver. So instead of like copying Ridge Racer, we tried to make it our own. Ridge Racer Unbounded is all about driving aggressively. Like, this is no game for gentlemen. There are lots of good games, like great driving games, where you're driving like on your own, you're focusing on your driving lines, and you're thinking about like how to bypass cars, like sometimes for minutes before like taking the chance and trying to get past them at some point. In this game, you'll be changing your position all the time. Well, it can be even chaotic, but like we like to think of it as a controlled chaos. It's something you should enjoy and orchestrate instead of like being lost in it. It's something that you must learn to not shy away from contact. Like you must be willing to like give the other car a hit as you're bypassing it to like buy some time. You must be willing to try and see like what you can drive through in the game city to like cut the corners as close as you possibly can. Like generally you must go through something in order to do well in the game. And we just like the whole like concept of driving through stuff. Like I've seen some people complain that it's unrealistic to go through like concrete pillars with a car. Sure it is, but we feel it's fun and it's something we haven't done in games before. And once we figured out a way to do it so that it looks cool and sounds good and plays well, we just couldn't resist it. So now, in the final game you're going through concrete stuff all the time because it's fun. So the whole gameplay has been built around this like positive feedback loop, that when you're driving well, you get this so-called power gauge, and when you got that fully charged up, you can then like unleash the power, which allows you to take shortcuts, like drive through buildings, like solid walls, or like take out your opponents with one solid hit, or just use it as a boost to like if you have nothing to destroy, you can just boost straight forward. But the idea is that when you're playing well, you have the power available to you like pretty much all the time. So the gameplay becomes a question of how are you going to most quickly charge your power and what are you going to use it on.
Le point le plus novateur de ce nouveau Ridge Racer, c'est son puissant éditeur de circuit. Jamais les joueurs n'avaient pu aussi facilement créer une ville à traverser.
The city creator is these two tools that we are packaging with the game. They're very much an integral part of the game, and our vision is that instead of like first completing the game and then maybe playing online and then maybe noticing, there's an editor here and I'm not going to bother to learn how to use it. Instead, we make the editor available to you from the get-go. It's like one of the three main choices in the main menu, and we very much want you to go and play with the editor like as the first thing you do. So we're trying to make it very approachable, so you have a very limited set of like pieces to start out with. You can't do it incorrectly. It's going to be a high quality racing experience every single time. It's very easy, you're just snapping together pieces of city. The other side of the editor is the so-called advanced editor. And that's where you can fly into the game world in a 3D view and move stuff around, delete stuff that you don't like, add things like dinosaurs and loops, and really make like this insane stunt experience. And the final component of the City Creator is that it's super easy to share and discover new content online. So whenever you go online, you're going to find new cities that you haven't seen before. But one of the cornerstones of the editor that our CEO put forth was that we are not going to do an editor mode if it's going to be like an editor light. Like if you're not going to be building the actual game using the editor, then it's not good enough. So we started from this, and we did want to cheat, like up until quite late in the process, the level designers did want to like add stuff or change stuff like without using the editor. But the final game has been completely done from the ground up using the console editor tools, the exact same that are on the disc, and I'm very happy about that.
Le jeu est disponible depuis le 30 mars sur PS3, Xbox 360 et PC. Pour en savoir plus, ne manquez pas la critique mardi prochain dans son 1%.